Wir sind jetzt hier bei EA und sprechen mit Patrick Bach, dem Executive Producer von Battlefield 4. Patrick, how are you doing? Great show yesterday.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm good. I'm a bit tired, but I'm good.
Yeah, probably you are because you have been partying a lot. The multiplayer gameplay you showed yesterday was amazing, especially the destruction of the skyscraper in Shanghai. How is this dynamical the structure of a whole town affecting the gameplay?
Well, that's a big new thing for us, the whole concept that we call Levolution, which is all about creating a dynamic playfield for everyone. So we want the players to be able to change the environment, not only with destruction but also big things like taking down the big skyscraper, and then small things like everything from metal detectors that beeps when someone goes through them so you can hear the enemy moving around. You have fire extinguishers that explode when you shoot at them, creating like a big cloud that you can hide in. So we want to create a lot of big and small things that actually evolves the map as you play it. And after the big skyscraper falls down, the whole environment gets dusty, changing the view distance for instance, pilots and helicopter pilots and players. So it actually changes the map in a very dramatic way from a strategic standpoint.
There was actually a flag point on the rooftop or something like up there. How would this flag point change? Would it be shattered on the floor and you can still capture it?
Yes, the flag actually moves down into the rubble of the collapsed building. So it creates a new point for players to take. So it actually changes the whole gameplay in a very dynamic way.
Okay, but when we look at those dynamic destructions, is this kind of scripted, like the signal tower in Caspian Border, or is it completely free to the players what they want to destruct?
Well, it's the things that we decide that you can destroy will of course be up to you if you take it down or not. So the building, you have to actually take down a few points around the building to make it collapse. So it's 100% up to the players if they want to take the building down or not.
But it's always a choice. You can take this one specific building down, or is it like you can flat the whole?
No. You don't want to create. We still want a core design of the game, so we can, create something that is interesting for players. So we want to be able to, decide what you can destroy and not. This is one thing that you can destroy. Leveling the whole city. I don't know if that would help really.
Yeah, well, in Bad Company 1, you had this problem that kind of people were flattening out the whole stuff. And what's your way to work around this?
Well, it's a design choice what you let people destroy and not. It's not a technical limitation. It's more what do we want players to do and what works and what doesn't. Some destruction doesn't make the game better, so then we kind of lock it down and make sure that you can't destroy things. But we want to be able to have a more destructible environment than we had in Battlefield 3, for instance. So it's much more destructible than it was before.
You showed us a PC version of the game. Now we have next-gen versions coming up. Are they this time featuring 64 players?
Yes, of course they are. Both new consoles are featuring 64 players and 60 FPS.
Great, and as well you will bring a 360 version and a PS3 version. How many players are they going to feature?
We're staying at 24 for the current gen versions at 30 FPS because we don't want to move away from destruction and the vehicles and all those things. So we still have a lot of players, but not as many as you can have on the next gen and the PC.
Okay, you did reduce the number of players in the close quarters DLC on consoles down to 9 per team. How did this work out for you? Did you get any feedback on that?
Of course, you always get feedback from people, but in general, it works pretty well. People are still playing it, and they seem to enjoy it, even though we had to reduce the player count. But then again, we are now fixing that. You can see that the Siege of Shanghai map, for instance, contains both like a metro area and a rooftop area. So we can try to combine the best of what you did in Battlefield 3, but putting all of those things on the same map. So I think that's quite exciting.
Yeah, the elevators were great, and it's a great vertical experience as well, probably. Talking about a new game mode, if you want to say it is, the commander is coming back.
Yes.
What is what's going on? 2 years ago I talked to you and you said that you don't need a commander anymore because the squad play would do as you like.
Yeah.
What has changed?
It hasn't really changed. You can still do that on the ground, but what we tried to figure out was to have the commander not interfere, because in Battlefield 2, when you played commander, that sometimes could interfere with the gameplay. People sometimes hated the commander because he didn't do his job, and you only had bad commanders, or you had a really good commander but a really bad team. So we actually redesigned the core of what we wanted the commander to be. So it's now more of a strategic layer on top of the game where you play commander versus commander. That's the game of the commander. You don't jump in and out as a commander. You choose to be a commander. But then below that, you're actually helping your team to win. So you still have those elements that we had in Battlefield 2. There's also a lot of new ways of interacting with the squad. For instance, we have a lot of focus on if the team does well, the commander gets benefits. So you have to take control points to get some of the features that the commander can then use. But then also trying to make sure that the commander cannot, destroy the gameplay for the people on the ground. So it's a big rehaul of the whole design to get it to work. And then also the time is now where we can actually do this on a tablet, which means that you could potentially lie home in bed and play against the people that are playing on the next-gen consoles, for instance, which is to us very appealing.
And how do you want to encourage people to play as a commander? Because since it's a meta game on another step, how do you want to make sure that people really do that?
I think it's a natural thing for a lot of people that they want to play more of a strategic game. The cool thing with Battlefield is that you don't have to be the fast-paced, gunslinger. You can be the strategic guy that only plays as a commander, and it's a completely different experience. But you're still playing together with the people that are, really good pilots or really good infantry players, etc. So I think, to us, we will find an audience that is more catered to the strategic experience and the slightly less fast-paced action, which I think is what Battlefield is all about, catering to all of these players.
And what kind of feature set is he going to be controlling? Is he just having the artillery, or is he still having the drones from Battlefield 2, or? Well,
we're showing some of it here today, actually, on the show floor. It's everything from having, you can give, ammo and health to players. You can also deploy vehicles at control points. You get, depending on what happens, you get access to, for instance, the missiles, where you can, make a big boom. You can also, talk to your squads. Which makes it a very social experience as well. And there's a lot of big and small things you can do. And we're also using a new interface design that works not only for the commander, but it's also part of how you spawn into the game, and also how the spectator mode works. So it's a very cool top-down view where you have full control over the battlefield, and you can zoom in and out on the map and do all kinds of stuff. So it's a very, very interesting way of interacting with the game.
You now just said two interesting things. First of all, you can talk to them. Yes. Are console manufacturers really allowing you to do that? Because I know that Microsoft is right now not allowing anyone to interfere from their service with their own service, like Microsoft service and... How is that working? We are in negotiations with first party right now on how to make that happen, but we are making sure that can work. And you can also, and it's important that it's not only, you don't only play Commander from a tablet, you also play it, on your PC, for instance. So you can, or on the consoles, you can also play Commander on the consoles. Yeah. Okay. And the second thing was the spectator mode. Yes. this is coming back too?
Absolutely. We're showing it on the show floor. If you go to the live stream, it's actually being streamed from the spectator mode. And it's actually really, really cool because not only can you follow any player on the field, you can actually use the map interface to see all the action and just click at the player and see that player and then go back and you can just click another player. You also have a third-person mode, so you can follow players around and you can see what gear they have and what guns they have. We also have a free look mode where you can not only fly around and look at stuff, but you can also place cameras. So you can actually create your own little TV studio and do a setup and then create movies and use the share functionalities on the next-gen consoles to do this.
That really sounds like you're pushing again into the competitive e-gaming.
Well, I think competitive gaming is one aspect of this, but it's also the people that just want to create cool movies. We see that today with Battlefield 3, that people are extremely creative on creating movies which shows different types of actions and small short films about Battlefield. So I think the spectate mode caters for both those players that just want to have fun and look around and create movies, but also for the more competitive gaming where you can actually monitor games.
Talking about the PC version, how is the PC version going to be different from the console version? Like right now, the PC version always looks better.
Yeah.
Which technical benefits does the PC still have compared to the new next-gen consoles?
Well, in general, the PC is evolving. Every month you see new hardware coming out. So we will make sure that we have a very high bar. So we don't want the game to kind of have any limits. So we're trying to make the game as flexible as possible when it comes to hardware specifications.
No specific details about graphic and tech porn yet?
No, not really. We're doing a lot of things. We have some really avid tech people at DICE, so they are always trying to push the limits, and we're trying to make the best use of each platform. So PC, of course, we're pushing the bar for CPU, GPU, memory. The next-gen consoles have a lot of cool new features that are like separate from just the GPU and CPU that we're also utilizing, and then of course the current gen consoles we were kind of trying to get the bar up slightly even on those based on the new Frostbite 3 engine.
Okay, cool. Thanks a lot and have a great time publishing Battlefield, Mirror's Edge and Star Wars Battlefront. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thanks.